Oh my god, B trying to scupper Elaine, like she's trying to ruin everything for Elaine, making this video and everything. And it was quite a nasty video, to be honest. Like, it really could ruin everything. So Julie had to obviously go and get all of Nigel's stuff. I'm glad that Phil was there through it. I think this will bring Phil and Julie closer together, because Phil's like, you have to tell me. You know, you've got to tell me. I need to know what's going on. I can't help you if I don't know. Also, speaking of the Mitchells, are we thinking that Grant and Linda are going to sleep together? Little Ivy came home. That was so cute. Obviously, Nicola's being extremely protective over, which, like, you can't blame Nicola for being protective over her at the moment with everything that they've had to go through with having her early and all of that. But the big thing of all of that was it was all nice and Nicola and George were getting along together, and then Nicola sees all these missed calls on George's phone and they're from his dad. Now, we all remember George's dad went to prison and he was a real baddie and he wasn't very nice at all, and basically he's got lung cancer and he's asking Nicola if she can basically help to make everything all right with George and everything before anything happens to him. So yeah, that was our ending. So the big question is, will Nicola actually do it, or will she try and protect George and not say anything about it? So Ian is obviously getting his speech ready and he wants Jimmy's party pushed back so that he can get this done, and he does. And then basically it's obviously the campaign day. I still think that Ian and Elaine will end up together. They still seem to like each other. And then obviously doesn't want B to do the video at first. He's like, no, don't put the video up. And then obviously Ian does his speech and it all goes wrong. And Oscar wrote his speech and it was hilarious, but it all goes wrong for Ian, and Elaine actually does step in and try and help the situation. But I think B had a hand in helping Oscar and Jasmine write this speech, and now Ian is saying that he actually wants her to post the video so that he will win and take Elaine down. And I feel bad for Elaine because Elaine's done nothing but try and help him. So obviously we know that Johnny helped with Elaine's speech, and Linda and Elaine are basically talking, and Elaine's explaining how Johnny's told her that he won't spend any of the money Tim's that he's got, even though Tim's money would help him and he really needs money. And Linda's like, well, I don't know what to do. And she opens up to Grant about this, and Grant's like, look, if it's between your son and your friends, you're going to choose him, so you need to help him, which ends up devastating Denise because Linda decides to actually listen to Grant and say that she can't invest in the salon anymore. She needs her money, so she needs to sell up, which is just a bit wild. And it's like, I don't know what Denise is going to do now, because obviously she's going to want somebody who is going to be just the same as Linda and not really be involved but be a silent partner. So I don't know who she's going to find to do that, but yeah. So obviously we were left wondering if Nicola will tell George about his dad, about Eddie, and basically what happens is George finds out that Nicola was at the hospital, and she basically makes up that the hospital forgot one of Ivy's prescriptions, so she was there picking that up. But George sees straight through this and is like, you're lying, why were you there? And of course she ends up telling him the truth about his dad, and George does go and see him, and Eddie apologises and says that he realised how wrong he was and that he's had counselling and it's helped him to understand that he was a racist and he was so wrong, and he admits to George that he did hate him because he was black, and there's a lovely black nurse that's actually helping him, and he pushes her hand away, which just shows us that he's absolutely still racist. He's not changed, and he's just using George because he wants somewhere to stay, which is just absolutely awful, like horrendous. And I feel like George will get sucked back into this world, and I'm so sad for him. So I loved Elaine slapping Ian because obviously word got out about the campaign video situation. I loved that, it was so cool. And Grant and Linda, I mean, we predicted this one, didn't we? Honestly, it's just classic Grant being Grant, basically. I absolutely loved Sam being there for Denise as well, and then with George, I'm so glad that George has just realised what Eddie's like, but it's got a bit more complicated because obviously Nicola found out about the kids basically taking money from Harry's barn to kind of save Night Fusion, the restaurant, and it's kind of caused a bit of bother for Nicola. Nicola was wanting to sell Harry's barn, and then Harry was like, please don't, mum, because it's the only thing keeping me sober and keeping me well. And so now we're thinking that Nicola's going to take... Eddie said that he's got this money, so we're thinking that Nicola's going to take it. But the deal is that Eddie wants to move in with George and Nicola. So yeah, I don't know how Nicola's going to explain that one to George, if she has to, if Eddie does move in. Well, I love Sam helping Denise, and obviously Jack is going to invest, so that's good for Denise because it means that she'll get basically a partner the exact same as Linda. She'll get someone that's not really bothered about it, but it'll still be like her and Kim's salon and everything. So yeah, also they were saying that they think Denise is a little bit iron deficient, so yeah, that's kind of maybe what was wrong with her, but we shall see. Well, obviously it was election day and Ian won, but then Ian and Elaine ended up kissing. I've said this, that I thought they were going to get together. And I also loved all the stuff with Linda and Grant. Like, it was obviously Max and Cindy's like joint birthday party at Harry's band, and I love the fact that Linda and Grant actually were there like making Max jealous, and it was totally working. Max is totally jealous. Like, I feel like Max wants to be with Linda. I really do. He's like so jealous right now. We also had Nicola basically trying to get George to let Eddie come to our house, but I'm not sure if she's going to succeed, but obviously she was trying to make him think, oh, what would Gloria say if she was here and stuff like that. So yeah, she really is trying to get him to let Eddie come, isn't she?